Hello, and welcome to the Community Education Program, part of AARP Arizona. I'm Jerry Waterworth. I'm one of the volunteers in the program, and I'm joined today by a number of other volunteers, Bonnie, Linda, Sandra, and Gary. Our topic today is Social Security changes for 2021. What we're going to cover today is basic information on changes in Social Security for next year, 2021. And our discussion topics include larger checks for retired and disabled workers, how the tax cap goes higher next year, earnings test limits climb, accruing work credits, getting a break on Medicare premiums, and SSI recipients also getting a raise. So with that, let's start with number one, larger checks for retired and disabled workers. Linda?
Yes, good morning. Well, the good news is Social Security recipients will be receiving larger checks starting in 2021. Recipients will get a 1.3% cost of living adjustment, also referred to as COLA, starting in January. And the COLA is usually based on the inflation rate. So sometimes there isn't even a COLA at all if inflation hasn't gone up enough. So in 2020, apparently the inflation rate did go up a little bit. So we all get a 1.3% increase in our Social Security checks this year, starting in January. And also the average retiree, what that means is it'll probably be about an additional $20 a month in your check.
And we'll move on to the second change for next year, how the tax cap goes higher. Linda, could you explain that, please?
Sure. The tax cap going higher is basically everybody who still is a wage earner who gets a check, a payroll check, part of their payroll, a part of their wages helps to fund Social Security. And today's workers basically cover their benefits, the current Social Security recipients' benefits. So in order to fund those benefits, the worker has to pay part into Social Security in the form of FICA taxes, which is federal taxes that go towards Social Security and Medicare. So 6.2% of a worker's salary goes to pay towards that, and then your employer matches that with another 6.2%. So basically 12.4% goes into Medicare from each employee who works out of their wages. So basically there is a max so that once you reach a certain age limit, you don't have to pay Social Security taxes anymore out of your salary. So the limit there for this coming year in 2021 is $142,800. So once you receive that amount in salary, from that point on, you don't have to pay the 6.2% towards Social Security out of your salary anymore.
Thank you. And next, the earnings test limits will climb.
Okay. Well, what that means is that a lot of people are collecting Social Security and still working. So there's some limits there because, when you're working and you're collecting Social Security, you're getting two sources of income there. So what happens is the rules have been put into place that if you haven't received full if you haven't reached full retirement age, you can only make a certain amount of money in salary before what starts to happen is that your Social Security benefits will be decreased. They will be reduced. So a worker who's collecting Social Security can earn, as of 2021, $18,960. at any point beyond that amount, they will start to lose $1 in Social Security benefits for every $2 earned over that $18,960. Now, in the year that you reach your full retirement age, that salary increases a lot. So instead of being limited to only earning $18,960, if you're in that year of full retirement age for Social Security, you can earn up to $50,520. And as long as you don't earn more than that, you will not have any reduced benefits. But if you go over that amount of salary, then for every dollar you make over that amount, you will now lose $3. I'm sorry, you will lose $1 for every $3 over that amount that you earn. So then the last thing is, once you have reached the month of your full retirement age, there is no longer any threshold, any wage threshold. And that's pretty much it. So it's just a matter of, this is only pertains to people who are collecting Social Security benefits, but are also they still have earnings from wages.
I'm going to talk today about accruing work credits. And for the most part, every worker needs to accrue 40 work credits to qualify for Social Security benefits. And to earn that, every quarter that you work, every 3 months of qualifying work, you earn 1 credit. So in a year, you can earn as many as 4 credits. And so after 10 years of work in your work history, you would have your 40 credits. They do not have to be consecutive years, however, because some people start working and then they stop for a while to raise a family, travel, whatever, and then they start working again. So it's just 10 years worth of qualifying work over your work history. The minimum earnings for a qualifying quarter is $1,470 in 2021. And so if you make at least that much money in a quarter before taxes, then you would have a qualifying quarter and earn 1 credit.
Great, thank you. The next change is the break on Medicare premiums, and this is actually some good news. Linda, could you share that with us?
Yes, Medicare premiums are going to increase starting in January of 2021. What Medicare Part B is usually automatically deducted from a Social Security recipient's check monthly. And Medicare Part B usually covers doctors and outpatient services. So once you reach 65, those payments the Medicare payments will come out of the monthly benefit check for your Social Security. Now, this particular year, Medicare was supposed to increase, the premium was supposed to increase by a lot because of the extra expenses, because of coronavirus especially, and for other reasons, but coronavirus played a large part in the expected increase in in Medicare premiums this year. However, the good news is there was a tax law change that was championed by AARP that helped lower that premium increase. Because a lot of times what happens is Social Security recipients receive a COLA, the cost of living increase that we talked about earlier, the 1.3%. And a lot of times what happens is that COLA gets wiped out by an increase in Medicare premiums. And that probably would have been the case this year. But because AARP and others helped change that law and lower that amount of increase, now the premium is only going to be going up to about $390 a month. It'll be $148.50 a month now from $144.60 last year. And that way there's still a little bit left over so that it didn't wipe out the total cost of living increase for recipients starting next year.
Great, thank you. And the last change for 2021 affects SSI recipients who will also get a raise. Now, those who receive supplemental security income, or SSI, are getting a benefit from a program to help those individuals who have little or no income to meet basic living needs. They will be getting a raise, a 1.3% raise in the monthly benefit. So for the average beneficiary or individual collecting SSI, that means $11 more per month to an average of $794 a month. Now, just to note, SSI is funded by general tax revenue, not from the Social Security payroll taxes. So with that, we have reviewed the 6 changes to Social Security in 2021. And there are some resources that are available to everyone that you might want to check out. SSA.gov, and that phone is 1-800-772-1213. Or you could also visit the AARP website at www.aarp.org for further information on Social Security and other topics of interest to all of us. So on that note, on behalf of all the volunteers and the Community Education Program and AARP Arizona, we want to thank you for tuning in today. We hope this information was helpful to you, and we'll look forward to a great 2021. Thank you all for joining us today.